up on MHS1, we go to the farm,
administrators step into the classroom,
and we show you new hobbies that's not just for grandmothers.
and it's all coming up on MHS1. Good morning, McKinney High School. I'm Grant Yoder.
And I'm Kim McKnight, and you're watching MHS1. Due to recent budget cuts, administrators have to step up to the plate and substitute teach. Here's Grant, Austin, and Taylor with more.
This year, central office is requiring that administrators sub 2 to 3 times each semester. This may seem like a small step, but it saves the district crucial dollars.
When the district was looking at cutting the budget last year, one of the biggest expenses a district has sometimes is with substitutes. And so they looked at how they could reduce the amount of money spent on paying substitutes. And so they decided that if every administrator, that's principals, assistant principals, and central office staff, if every administrator subs 4 to 6 times $85 a day, that saves a lot of money.
Teachers let me know if they need it some time a couple of weeks in advance, so I can definitely have that day planned off and blocked off to where I don't have any other scheduled meetings, and if I have it, I can let people know that I won't be able to make it.
It may be cost effective, but how do the administrators feel about it?
Actually, for me to get back in the classroom, it was a little refreshing.
It gives the students an opportunity to see me in a different role. I know the kids, they know me, instead of a stranger coming in the room, just a substitute that goes around the district.
This plan affects the students just as much as it does the teachers.
When you see them, you're like, oh, this person's actually human, and it's not just a, name they're making up to trick me. And it allows me to put faces to names.
It gives you an opportunity to practice what you preach and just have a different connection with students.
This has been Taylor Lowry, Grant Yoder, and Austin Syme reporting for MHS1.
By next year, MHS will look a lot different. Here's Matt Farmer and Jerry Derryberry on how we can preserve our school's memory.
Hi, I'm Matt Farmer from MHS1. 4 years ago, when I strolled through this beautiful courtyard, I never imagined it'd be gone. But, friends, that day is upon us. Within the next few months, the beautiful structure you see ahead of me will be torn down to make way for a new era. I know it's hard to believe, but don't worry. Like a majestic phoenix, this courtyard will be reborn. To commemorate our old friend, the MHS courtyard, join us Thursday, February 23rd for a school-wide photo right here. Thank you, McKinney High School.
Now here's Devin McGuire with sports.
Thanks, guys. The boys basketball team will take on Wiley tonight at Wiley. Be sure to go and support your Lions. Now here's Emily and Nicole with a look at girls basketball.
Charge. Used as a verb, charged, charging, means to attack by rushing violently against.
This year, the McKinney girls varsity basketball team broke the school record for taking an amount of charges in a season. They broke not only the girls' record, but the boys' record too.
A charge is essentially the sacrificing of one's body in basketball. It does several things. One, it gets a foul on the offensive player. You know, a lot of times basketball players who have the ball in their hands are looking to score, and a lot of times they're looking to dribble towards the basket. And so there are several things you can do to defend that. One is a steal, two is a block shot, but we've gotten good at taking a charge.
A charge to me means taking a hit to make a play.
The first time I took a charge, I was like protecting myself because I didn't know how to fall at all, and I was really scared. But like now it's like something that I know how to do, and like I do it so much now because I know how to fall and like not get hurt.
It's not a one or two man person doing this. It is the entire team bought in. Everybody on our team, 9 of our 10, took multiple charges. Most in the neighborhood of 4 to 5. Several got 9, 10, 11. Then of course Jasmine Nelson had 21. We're going to keep that goal. We're going to keep that as a big part of our program, and we're going to look to build on those next year.
Although the girls had a great season, the Lionettes suffered a devastating loss to Highland Park, ending hopes at playoffs.
This has been Emily Brightman and Nicole Quincy reporting for MHS1.
That's all for sports. Now back to you.
Thanks, Devin. For better or for worse, many students have been dating in high school. But is it worth it? Here's Mallory, Haley, and Hannah with more.
This Valentine's Day, many students would kill to have that special someone. But are high school relationships really worth it?
I don't think you necessarily have to get into a relationship because it affects the way you do things in school, and I think your number one priority it will be to study and make a difference for your life.
It can be a positive influence. I've seen young men do a whole lot better because they've had a lovely influence on their lives, but I've also seen the negative effects that a relationship can have on grades too.
So we ask you, McKinney High School, do your relationships affect your grades?
Having a boyfriend doesn't really distract me any more than I would already be distracted. I guess senioritis is already kicking in.
I don't think a relationship would affect my school grades because I'm never in one.
I do think that relationships affect your school grades because if you are more focused on your social life, then you won't study for your tests and you'll fail.
I think people's relationships affect people's grades because my brother's grades have been slipping lately because of Maddie Neal.
My grades were a lot better when I was out of the relationship because I wasn't thinking about him all the time.
I think when I had a girlfriend, my grades were better because she gave me all the answers.
I think relationships, I mean, it's normal. It's part of high school. As long as it's kept in perspective, because this is a school and we're here to learn.
This has been Hannah Fisher, Mallory Hauser, and Haley Mercer reporting for MHS1.
Hey, Grant, do you know how to stay away from the flu?
No, but I know Julian, Ethan, and Ben can help us.
It's that time of year again, and everyone at school seems to be sick. Most cold and flu viruses are spread by direct contact, so always remember to wash your hands. To prevent spreading germs to others, cough or sneeze into the side of your elbow. Drink plenty of fluids. Water flushes your system, washing out the poisons as it rehydrates you. Eat healthy. Eating plenty of fresh fruits and vegetables supports your immune system. With flu and cold season in full swing, these tips may come in handy. This has been Jillian Limbaugh, Ethan Deshays, and Ben Tatum reporting for MHS1.
Have you ever seen the older-looking cars in the parking lot? Here's Sarah and Christian with the story on one classic car driver.
A select group of students own classic cars that draw attention. We interviewed Will Wallison about his 1974 Pontiac Firebird.
Having an old car is really cool, and it's fun because I mean, you kind of just get noticed in it, and it's fun to drive. It's not like driving your mom's car or something.
Classic car dealers aren't a common sight, but Will managed to find one fairly close by.
I bought my car about 2 months before my birthday last November. I bought it at a place in Sherman. We looked up, and they sell classic cars, and we went up, and I was looking for a different kind of car originally, and then we saw this, and I decided I liked it, so we bought it.
Having an older car isn't an easy task. It takes a lot of dedication to maintain one.
It's a big time commitment, I mean, you're going to spend 4 or 5 hours a week working on little things just to make sure it's running right. And then probably once a month I do a big project on it where I'm staying up till 2 or 3 in the morning working on it. And it's a big time commitment. It's a lot of hard work, but it pays off.
Will told us exactly how hard it is to keep an older car in good condition.
I've done a lot of work on the car, not so much performance-wise, but just things that needed to be done. I've fixed every wire in the car and done a lot of suspension work and just things that needed to be done that make it better to drive, more driver-friendly. I've pretty much fixed just about everything.
Will also made some modifications to the engine.
Some other things I've done that you can see in here is the suspension. These are called A-frames. It's just some of the things that go up and down. They fit in with the springs and stuff, and they help the car ride smoother.
His car also draws a lot of attention.
You have a lot of weird old middle-aged guys who come up to you and say, "Oh, I had a car like that," or "Oh, you know, those are cool." I mean, I had cars like that when I was a kid, and I don't know, it's just you kind of have to get used to old guys looking at you in weird ways.
This has been Christian Schneider and Sarah Martin reporting for MHS1.
Hey Kim, do you know what it's like to work on a farm?
No, but I can get a few tips from these guys. Here's Robert and Luke with more.
McKinney, a bustling metropolis, sometimes seems like a hard place to live in. So Junior Garrett Christensen and his family found a solution. They moved to the country.
It's a lot more peaceful. There's not sirens going off. There's not cars driving around. Yeah. If you see somebody driving by, you can wave and they'll wave back. People are a lot nicer.
It's beautiful out in the country. You got room. We're paying stable fees. We had horses, and now we have a place to put our horses, and added on and had some donkeys now, so keeps on growing.
One of the biggest perks of living in the country is having animals nearby to take care of.
We have 3 horses and we have 2 donkeys. The donkeys are mine. Their names are Winky and Nigel. And then the 3 horses are my mom's. One's my mom's, and that's Lloyd. And then there's Lola and Leo, and those are my sister's horses. Nigel was a rescue. Like, his mom didn't want to keep him. She was like, "What's coming out of me?" So she tried to kick him to death. And so, like, if you can't trust your mom, who are you going to trust? So Nigel's I'm the only one he really trusts, so he's my favorite. And then Winky's pretty funny, too. He's Nigel's half-brother. And together, they're a pretty good pair.
As enjoyable as they are, animals take a lot of work and responsibility.
On a regular basis, well, we feed twice a day usually, but everyone's getting a little chubby, so we're feeding once a day right now. We'll do that at night. And then so you just gotta make sure if it's like bad weather, it's raining, we put them in the barn, and you just give them feed and give them their hay and water. And other than that, just hang out and have fun with them too. Like, you can't just leave them out here and be by themselves.
This has been Robert Kemsley and Luke Lauterbach reporting for MHS1.
We're in trouble finding the perfect Valentine's gift this year. Here are some gifts guaranteed to be loved.
Valentine's Day is next week, and men, you know what that means. You're going to have to find a good gift for that girl in your life. And we're here today to show you the best stores to find that special gift for that special someone.
Our first destination is PetSmart, and there's nothing your special someone would like more than a new exercise wheel. Now she can exercise without leaving the house. Another great gift you can get is a nice jogging vest for those smaller women. Never mind. Here's a nice nail trimmer. All the ladies love a good pedicure. Our next store is, I got distracted, okay. Our next store is Toys R Us. And what we found is a nice 2-seater couch, because ladies love furniture. And now, you can both sit at home and watch movies together. Another great gift is a G.I. Joe. This offers a lot of family fun for hours.
We showed you some great gifts today. Hopefully you're able to go out and find a nice gift for that special someone.
A new hobby has become popular around MHS. Here's Gunnar and Aaron with a lesson on knitting.
Hi, look what I made. Let's take a journey into knitting here at MHS.
Have you noticed the recent knitting taking place here at MHS? Well, we got to the bottom of it.
I actually learned over Thanksgiving break when I went to visit my sister-in-law in Virginia, and she was knitting a scarf, and I thought it looked kind of cool, so she taught me how. The day before Thanksgiving is when I learned to knit.
I've been knitting for about 5 years now, probably. I've made half a sock, 3 scarves, and a hat. The internet taught me how to knit mostly and completely, and then my grandma tried to, but I became very bored and ignored her.
Well, the funny thing is, Miss Jones 5 years ago learned how to knit, and she made a scarf that was this big, and she called it her 5-year scarf, and she was never successful in it. So we got her some new needles and got her going again, and I retaught her how to knit, and she finished her 5-year scarf, and she made a scarf for her mom, and now she's making a scarf for one of her friends. So I didn't directly teach her to knit, I retaught her to knit and inspired her to become a knitter again.
If you love knitting just as much as we do, you're going to want the best supplies.
I bought my supplies at first at Walmart because they were cheap and I didn't know if I'd like to knit, but now I go to just different craft stores. There's a knitting store in Plano called Holy You, and I like to go there. But I also go to Joann's and Michael's and Hobby Lobby, or as the crafters call it, according to Miss Jones, Hob Wob.
If you're skeptical on starting, here's some benefits of knitting.
No, there's no benefit of it. It just is a time consumer, and it consumes everything. Every minute of my life I do is knit and play with my cat. I don't have cats.
When I'm homeless someday, I can make my own clothes.
Now that you're motivated to start, here's some final tips for your knitting adventure.
When you make your first scarf, don't give it to anyone as a gift because it's going to be really screwed up, but just go with it and get through the first scarf, and then after that it becomes much, much easier.
But always remember, don't get frustrated and never give up. This has been Aaron Delgado and Gunnar Lund reporting for MHS1.
No, I don't knit.
Well, that's all we have for you today. For more news, go to mainstreamnews.com.
That's right, and if it's news,
It's at McKinney High School.
it's MHS1.